Hey everybody, welcome one and all to another exciting edition of the Disc Only podcast. Oops, that's the wrong one. Why is it just me? Let's try that again.
Eboy Solace.
Wait. Wait a minute. Where's the right one? Why is the right one not there?
Oh, John.
Proton John, professional e-boy.
John, can you please do one that's just the other three?
We don't have that. We have this one. Why is it playing the same one again? I literally just changed the video and it's playing the same one.
Cover with a white square.
Just draw a white rectangle.
Third time's a charm, baby. Let's go. This is going to work out great for the audio-only version of the podcast.
There we go.
There it is. I was listening to the audio version. He played the wrong intro where it was just John.
I don't recognize any of this. I only know E-Boy Solus now.
Welcome to the Disc Only podcast, the podcast that makes John wonder about his OBS settings. Apparently, I'm Proton John.
I'm Tom Fox, and E-Boy Solus is the name of Disc Only internally.
I'm Stephen George. My colon is fine, and that will be a talking point soon.
And I'm Jared, and your colon?
You're also his colon, or you're just confused about his colon?
No. I was like, it was the most random freaking thing. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm glad to hear that. But
okay, so right before
is your
the
colon
show, Jared
good enough
out.
to rent out?
So
that was when I stepped out. Okay, yeah.
That was right when you had stepped out. You missed the conversation. We had a little conversation about colons.
Yes.
Okay, not semicolons, just colons.
No, colons, like the one inside your body.
Yes, that was a joke. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Sorry.
I appreciate y'all listening. It's great.
I was very concerned. Yeah, we had a brief discussion because we weren't sure. And honestly, I guess we could find out literally right now because we have the entirety of human knowledge at our fingertips. What age is it that you're supposed to start checking that?
You were really invested on knowing about that. I am so surprised.
The other thing too,
you're like laser focused on it.
The other thing too is it's not your colon specifically, right? It's your prostate that they want to check.
Well, both are probably important. Let me check.
I think every part of you is important.
You know, I gotta say, we're really hitting that young adult demographic with this converation.
There you go.
45.
Oh, wow.
45 is when you should start getting screened for colorectal cancer. So it's 45 is when you should start doing
okay.
If you'll excuse me, I just threw my back out with this conversations.
Which,
what about your prostate?
Let me just Google prostate. Starting at age 55 is general guidelines, but you may need PSA screening between the ages of 40 and 54. So basically the same.
My doc's like, just get this checked now.
That's a lot later than I thought it was.
Yeah,
bro, I got 8 years. I'm fine.
I thought that it started at like 35, and the rule was like every 10 years from 35 to 60 or whatever, or 65, and then every 5 or every whatever.
Man, like my doctor's just like, yeah, fuck it. It's like you're 30. Let's check it. We'll just check it every now and then. That's just so. I thought that was it. I was just like, okay, that just happens.
I mean, like it's not a bad idea to know.
Yeah, wouldn't mind the knowledge.
It's really not a bad idea. It's not relevant, but we were talking about colons, so it's relevant in that respect. But
to be more clear, we were talking about the text colon, the two dots. The punctuation of colon, and then that turned into the part of the body.
I thought that turned into talking about Dan's colon specifically. Then it turned into Stephen wondering when to check your colon, which then turned into the intro to the podcast.
We were just wondering, when the last time everyone had their colons checked, and the answer was never. I think I'm the only person who has had their colon checked because I went through a bunch of stuff earlier this year. So I had a colonoscopy.
Oh no, I'm in your boat. I've had.
So you're good too.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't find anything other than what needs to come out of me, but that's just how it goes. I'll let you know that my prep was perfect. Aha!
I have had
Gold star.
I have had brain scans before, and they told me the same thing, that they found nothing.
Shut up.
That's like, okay, that's the joke is there, but that is true. I have had brain scans before.
Oh, good.
And it's true. There was nothing up there. I'm very concerned about my well-being.
Haven't we been over this? I could make the hollow coconut noise out of my mouth by hitting the top of my head.
Oh, this is true.
There's just a freaking oh shoot, what is that emote of the it's just the Dan Scream emote up there, and it's all you hear. It's like echoing in there. Not Dan, sorry, Tom Scream. Sorry, Tom. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it.
I was going to totally use this stream as a PSA for colon screenings, but if the target demographic of the stream probably doesn't align with the general
probably around the
for...
same. We probably hit the mostly the 18 to 35 demographic, and they probably don't need their colon examined nearly as much.
There was somebody in chat that said, "I'm 19, please spare me."
Why have we dwelled on this so long?
John, I'm not quite done. We're so close.
I know, that's why I'm asking the question, because I know what's coming next.
I mean, here's the thing. Going back to the brain thing, there's two things you can see when you look into my ear. The other side and a sign that says for rent.
I'm going to just go eat my sandwich. You guys all have fun.
I'm just going to ask a quick question. How much would rent be, Tom?
For the space between my ears?
Yeah.
I mean, it's less than a square foot, so probably pretty cheap.
Yeah. I mean, and also, like, how many people are going to see it is another thing.
What's the foot traffic like?
Yeah.
What's the walk rating?
I mean, like, what's the curb appeal?
I mean, you get two really nice windows.
Yep.
Oh,
one on either side. Technically 4 if you count the eyes.
Well, that's what I meant. It was the eyes.
I thought you were talking about the ears.
No, the ears is the door and the back door. What's the mouth?
The garage.
Yeah, okay, that works.
Man, this is my favorite episode of Magic School Bus.
There's like an episode of Jimmy Neutron where they go inside Carl to try to get like the something for a germ, and they get to his brain, and it's like, I don't see his brain. Is it behind that walnut on a stick?
Oh,
so mean to Carl. Carl's the man.
I mean, he's the best character, but there's no denying his intelligence.
Listen, you be nice to Carl, Weezer, okay?
All right, Jimmy. That's how I voice Bottles the Mole in every iteration of Banjo-Kazooie.
Wasn't the whole thing with Jimmy Neutron is that everyone is an idiot because Jimmy Neutron is like a genius?
He's a genius with no common sense, that Jimmy Neutron, because he'll do things regardless of the consequences. He summoned aliens that stole everybody's parents. He created an incurable disease that required him to shrink down. He made pants come alive.
The sentient pants was the one that I remember the most.
I think that was the pilot for the show.
Really? Well, they did good because that's the main episode I remember. That one and the one that had Tim Allen
basically, right? He's just a mad scientist.
Yes,
basically.
I mean, like, well, his heart's in the right place, but again, no common sense.
See, I've never seen him write a single thing down, so he was just freaking around. He wasn't doing actual science.
That's true.
Because the difference between freaking around and doing actual science is writing it down. Remember that.
Was the pants one the movie? Because before it was a show, it was a movie. It was
the movie. The movie was where they summoned the aliens that looked like eggs, and the leader of them was played by Patrick Stewart.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Frick. The only other thing about Jimmy Neutron I remember is the advert for JimmyNeutron.com, because it's like JIMMYNEUTRON.com. It was really freaking well made. I was like, this is incredible.
You've activated a long dead neuron, Jared.
Yeah, I hope I did it for like 100 people listening to this, because that crap, like, my friend of mine had it on his iPod. I'm not even joking.
He played it ad nauseum.
Dude, he kind of did. Not gonna lie, he actually did have it on his iPod. It was really funny because he would just randomly play it in his car whenever we were chilling. And I'm like, why do you freaking have this? He's like, this is a jam. And I'm like, you know what? It kind of is, honestly.
I'm thinking about the Nicktoons Smash Bros. Clone, and like, you'd think that they would want to add like main characters to the game, but instead of adding Jimmy Neutron, they added Hugh to the game, which is incredible.
So I've actually played that. Have y'all played that game?
I have.
Dude,
bit,
I
yeah.
I am a Patrick Star main so hard in that game, dude. He's funny to play because he's like the only character that was. I think he's like one of the only characters that are actually voiced by the regular voice actor. At least I think so, because they don't have hardly any voice acting in that game at all.
That was going to be my question. Is when I played it, it was right at launch, and
they didn't have voice acting. They
it was eerie.
I can't remember all three of the characters they added because one of them was Hugh Neutron, one of them was XJ9 from My Life as a Teenage Robot.
Oh, I love XJ9.
And I forgot the third character they added, but after they added those three characters, they added voice acting.
Okay, good, because man,
it was Rocco. They added Rocco.
That was weird. Only like certain characters would talk, and that was very strange to me. Also, XJ9 was a childhood crush of mine, dude. Just so y'all know.
Yeah.
She's great. I love that show so much. Like, oh man, like tag on it. I saw a meme the other day, which is the Dr. Leipzig like walking meme, but it's like three of the villains from freaking My Life as a Teenage Robot, and it's like me and the boys going to frick up a young robot's day, and they're just boom, 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 boom.
I love that meme. It's
Dude,
so good.
Me too. I have that as an alert now. I have Wario walking like a boss as an alert because I freaking love the Dr. Leipzig meme so much.
That was from like a Russian animated Treasure Island movie,
yes,
right?
Yes,
exactly.
Have you seen? I don't know which country it was, but it's Treasure Planet, and I think it was animated before that one, and it is the roughest looking thing ever.
Yeah. It's the one where it's like isn't the guy like on a
yes,
okay.
Yes, it's Yugoslavian Treasure Planet.
Yep.
The animation on that movie is so hideous. It's amazing.
It's like a fever dream watching that animation, dude. It's so weird. But like Dr. Leipzig, like what's cool about his character is that he's actually a boss in the freaking show. And he doesn't just like, it's not just a meme. Like if you go back and watch the episodes I think it's like just an episode. I don't know for sure. I don't know the full thing, but I've watched one part of it. And he there's a part where he breaks out a window with his freaking elbow, and he has like pistols, one-shot pistols, and he's like flipping them around, shooting them behind his back. And I'm like, dude, I love him. He's so great. And like, he's always smiling and always laughing. So he's like, yeah, Dr. Leipzig. And I'm like, bro, he's like my spirit animal. I love him so much. I was not expecting me to like him as much as I did.
That animation style gives me like Schoolhouse Rock vibes as well.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do. Huh, man. Oh, dang it. I want to go watch more of that freaking show. Like there's a part where he's like sword fighting 3 pirates, and he's keeping them all at bay, and he picks up a flower and just sniffs it while he's fighting, and I'm like, this dude's so awesome.
It was a show back in the 70s. I thought it was a movie.
I think it's a show. I don't know for sure though. But yeah, Dr. Leipzig has taken the internet by storm, and I'm so glad he has, because the song that plays Why Not by Ghostface Playa is just so good.
Yep. It works with that walk cycle really well.
It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
This has been Meme Review with Tom and Jared.
I just wanted to add one thing, definitely related to what you guys are talking about, and that is if you have a family history.
God damn it, Steven!
Then you should. I looked it up. Then you should get checked at 35. So if you know that that's a family thing, then you actually should get that checked.
Family history of memes.
If you have a family history of memes, you're doomed. So there's nothing they can
you're
do.
a Twitch caster. At
probably
that
have like. God, I remember those like. There were commercials that would be on like. I really hope they were Adult Swim, because I watched like nothing but Cartoon Network when I was growing up, and there would be these commercials where it's like, "Are you going? Are you always going? Do you have trouble when you go? If so, you might have an inflated prostate." And my God, I hope that was Adult Swim and not Cartoon Network that had those commercials.
More than likely Adult Swim.
How many times?
I don't remember that.
How many times a day is normal to pee?
Oh man,
that's a genuine question.
It's
a real question.
That's true. I wonder how much. Let's see.
I mean, we do have the entirety of human knowledge.
Well, right. I guess it depends, right? And if you're drinking like a lot, it's almost like your body is like, oh wait, he's drinking a lot. I better pee a lot.
The
Like,
normal. Okay, so according to the UCSF Health Organization, the normal range for 24-hour urine volume is 800 to 800 to 2,000 milliliters per day. So up to 2 liters is normal.
Well, what I mean, I don't freaking measure. I need to know like how many
Exactly.
bathroom trips.
Yeah, we do not measure
but-
in milliliters.
Right,
Because we're not
but here's the thing: if you're
European.
measuring,
We just go
here's the thing:
pee.
if you're measuring in bathroom trips and you're doing the on like the higher end of the normal amount of bathroom trips, but you're spending like 2 minutes in front of the bathroom, there's probably a problem.
Yes, that was a wonderful 857 milliliter urination trip.
Just piss in a measuring cup. Problem solved. God.
Ew.
Oh my
You know-
God! I have an idea for a product.
Is it a toilet that measures the difference in liquid between what's in the bowl and how much you pee into it?
Yes,
Dude,
There we
same
go.
brain cell, bro. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like,
I was
we
thinking
can
that the
make that.
toilet could be transparent like a measuring cup and
No,
have
it
the
doesn't.
little things
It-
on the side.
Listen, you just need sensors. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to look like a measuring cup. I do not want to see where everything is going.
Oh my God, that's really so. Like it would. The problem is that product is too niche, right? Because that is very, very specifically like for someone who is actively going through a prostate problem, where they're or a bladder problem or whatever, and like
You say
that's
that, but-
already very niche. But also, if they're getting help for it, then they're not going to need the toilet later. Although
Okay.
it could be just a fun thing to have.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. People love stupid data. Could one of the mods run a poll if like people would buy a toilet that measures urine content? Probably worded a little bit better.
I love this comment in the chat right now. What is this conversation? Welcome to Disc Only.
There you go.
I got to tell you, when we were talking about how many times people went to pee, I was looking at chat because I was really curious, and it seems like the general consensus is a lot of people hovering around 5, like 5 pees. And
I guess like the consensus
reasonable?
is the question I posed to chat is, would you want to know how much you peed in a day?
I mean, I would
By volume,
want to-
not in terms of trips.
That's a sort of thing that like I would want to know once, like just as like a curious thing. Like,
I get you. I probably wouldn't buy an entire toilet for that.
would you go to a special hotel? Wait, no, you won't stay at the hotel all day. That won't work. I was like a special hotel that has this toilet.
Here's the problem with I wouldn't trust a hotel that's like, and also we measure your urine.
John,
Those hotels are called hospitals.
John, didn't you play Conker's Bad Fur Day like yesterday?
I think he's bleeding.
So I think that this is like the perfect conversation to have right after you get done playing that game.
I was watching that stream last night. I don't think he wants to relive the peeing portion.
I don't want to relive any of that game, honestly. That game was so
specifically
freaking
because
weird.
of how frustrating the part he was at was. I don't know if John is there or like he did BRB or he's eating or whatever, but he was doing. There's like a part that's like a rock person nightclub, and one of the things you got to do is pee on the male attendees of this nightclub to push them into like what is essentially a soccer goal, and it's very precise.
I was about to ask, what did I come back to? And I see we're talking about last night's stream.
Okay, so you were BRB. Yeah, Jared was telling you.
Stream.
There you go.
Steven, what the frick? Get out of my. Give me the last brain cell back, bro. We're like completely.
Get out of your head.
disconnected.
Okay, I'll just
Yes.
rent Tom's space.
Please do. Oh man.
That'll be $1,800 a month.
What the frick, dude? This housing market though.
New York
really?
rate.
Yeah, fair. That's very fair. one bedroom for freaking 1,800. Yeah.
Anyway, we learned a lot.
No bathroom. How are we gonna measure?
We learned 5 peas a day. Seems to be
John, when did you leave this conversation? 'Cause I wanna know how much you missed.
Mentally, probably around Welcome to Disc Only. Actually,
good choice.
Actually, was when I think halfway through the measuring cup toilet discussion. So
okay, because you missed the part where Steven wanted there to be a special kind of hotel that would measure your pee.
A hotel for this. Have you heard of a hospital?
Yeah, we concluded that it was
exactly what chat said.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. We learned. I think we've learned a lot tonight. Oh my God, Disconliversary not even half over.
Good night, everyone.
That's a lot of chaos for 20 minutes.
Yes, it is.
Oh God, help me. The open source brain cell, dude. that's a joke between me and my buddy Dell. Like we used to say, like, freaking, we're sharing the same brain cell, and then Dell was like, "Don't worry, we made the brain cell open source so everybody can share it." And
there
I'm
you
just
go.
like, "Oh my God."
Good Lord.
How much longer do you think it'll be before we have the ability to have like very subconscious implanted ads?
Oh God!
This did not go the direction I expected. Okay,
like the dream advertisements from Futurama.
Yeah.
Well, it would depend on because the brain isn't really like a receiver for that kind of signal.
Well,
so we would need some kind. So
is it? Because the obvious thing, right? The obvious thing is, we'd need like a chip implant. Like
I think there would need to be an implant.
But what
I feel like if there was a signal powerful enough to, subvert conscious thought and implant advertising into your subconscious, they might as well just be using full-blown mind control at that point.
I'm just thinking about the prospect of, like, there's radio waves or something. They get radio waves figured out. They got specific frequencies to send specific messages. Your brain is basically a Satellaview, right?
Dude.
So they're beaming little ads for Arby's into your brain when you sleep.
Bro,
I feel like that would need either like a receiver or some kind of physical connection, because everything we see and hear are on like I guess like what would that be then? Would that be like a frequency that's like picked up on our ears and directed like in our brain? Because our receivers are what are essentially like our nerve endings. So our eyes, our ears, our the smell, the taste, touch, that kind of thing.
You do something like a dog whistle. Like it's a tone that you don't hear, but your brain recognizes it. So that's how they transfer the actual thing there, and that's how your brain perceives it, because it hears it without realizing it's hearing it.
That's just subliminal at that point, right?
Yeah. Well, it's better than telepathy.
Better than subliminal.
Like, you know how if you're asleep and like,
hey, join the Navy.
Yeah. Like if you're asleep and you are dreaming about something and there's a sound that occurs in the real world that it affects your dream. It's like, kind of like a similar experience, right?
I mean, I've definitely had that before, especially whenever I'm having like a lucid experience or something like that, and like I'm kind of like a little bit in control. Sometimes I will notice stuff that is outside of the dreamscape because of the sounds, and then sometimes it'll wake me up, sometimes it won't. But I mean, okay, so I have legitimately read about 25 books in the past year on this subject alone.
Yeah, wait, you're super into like the lucid dreaming thing, right?
Yeah,
like
lucid dreaming, mindfulness. I
don't want to be dramatic, but I think you should go for your doctorate.
Shut up. But like, there's actually a book. It's a fiction book from Hank Green called An Absolutely Remarkable Thing, and it's really cool because basically the premise of the book is there's an alien that it comes to Earth, and there's like a puzzle that you have to figure out in order to like unlock the alien, like make him move, make him autonomous, right? And one of the things is he is beaming a dreamscape into every person on Earth's mind, and they're trying to figure out like the clues that are left behind in order to get the right chemicals in order to put it's a fantastic read. It gets really crazy at the end of it, but like it's just that's really cool that y'all were talking about this, because I'm just like, man, that is literally the full thing of An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. Like, it's so weird that y'all were talking about that.
But the most common experience, I think, for that, I'm sure there's a term, right? There's probably some scientific term for like sound that occurs outside dream that affects dream. But the one that I recall most prominently is probably the phone ringing. Like, you're having a dream that does not involve phones, and then a phone rings, and it wakes you up. But before it wakes you up, your brain is really trying to process what the hell is going on.
Either that, or like you have the realization immediately where it's like, oh, there's no phone here. This is a dream, and then you wake up.
Yeah.
See, it's a train for me. It's a train whistle.
Huh.
I think we've talked about this before. Like, I'll just be in a dream, and then suddenly I will hear like a train whistle, and suddenly I will jolt awake. Like, it is basically like, if I hear this sound, I will immediately wake up no matter what.
I wish that happened with me with my alarm, because like all I do with alarms is I have false awakenings where I will wake up in the dream and I will hear my alarm going off. I will try to turn it off, but then it doesn't turn off. And it drives me freaking crazy because I'm not actually awake, but I can hear the alarm going off all the time. And that is just annoying.
Yeah, Chad's confirming exploding head syndrome. We've talked about this.
Yes, we have talked about exploding head syndrome before.
I like to think, though, going back to like the advertising in dreams, though, like, you know, you're in the middle of the dream, like shit's crazy because the dream, you're like, you accept it because that's just how dreams work. And then the middle of it's like, this dream is sponsored by Castor Fish Oil.
Oh my God, dude, that would drive me crazy.
I don't think anybody would sleep ever again.
No, I don't think so either. But like, that's the thing with like actually keeping like a dream journal and stuff like that. Like, you want to notice those things. Right? You want to notice those things in order for you to become lucid and do things in your dream that you want to do, like practice, like, you know, because like the same exact things that go through your head during the day are going through your head at night. You can practice things in your dream much more efficiently than you can in real life. It's actually ridiculous.
When you said that, the only thing I can think of is like, God, I don't want what's going through my head in the day to be what I dream about, because it's just stress and work.
Yeah, see, that's the one thing. But like, that the beautiful thing about, and I can, once again, this will be the whole podcast if y'all let me, so stop me at any time. But I absolutely love dream journaling and lucid dreaming, and it's called being an Orionaut. I think it's called, not Orionaut, but it's a dream walker, basically, I guess you would call it. Not
Dreamwalker sounds so much cooler. Just stick with that name.
I actually do like that a lot. Isn't that a freaking Metal Gear game?
Peace Walker.
Peace Walker. Okay.
Jared, I have a question that I'm super curious about, because you know, I'm not someone that lucid dreams because I've never been able to do it, and I've never dedicated the time to it. You have, so I'm super curious, assuming that you have this down where you're doing this at least sometimes on purpose. What is it that you specifically are try to achieve whenever you get into a lucid state?
So the main thing that I really enjoy about lucid dreaming and meditation and stuff like that. Well, for I got to start it off with meditation and mindfulness. My favorite thing is that it allows me to go to bed, because I've had really bad insomnia. I've had insomnia for years, and Erica makes me mad because she's just like, up, it's bedtime, hits the freaking bed, and she's gone. She's just out. I'm like, I freaking wish I could do that, but like, mindfulness and meditation really helps me to fall asleep. My favorite thing to do in a lucid dream is to once I'm lucid, because I've not had a what I would call a super lucid experience where I'm changing stuff and doing things. I've been doing this for a year and a half. I've had around 50 or so lucid experiences. I have like 600, 700 entries in Dream Journal. But my favorite thing is to allow myself to fly, because that is like one of the most freeing things, especially whenever, like, if you're stressed out or something like that, and you're in a situation or you're in a dream where you're like, oh my God, I'm lucid. I get it. The first thing you'll notice is that everything just explodes in color and vividness, and it is the most beautiful thing. You get that awareness, and you're just like, wow, it's beautiful, holy frick. And then you just jump into the air, and everything with the dream is very thought based. So anything that you think like happens, and it's the coolest freaking thing. Like I've asked the dream, like you can ask what I like to call like the dreaming consciousness or the dreaming mind. You ask dreaming mind, what is something that I need to know? And the dream will actually respond in a really cool way, either in a talking way or either in like you experience something and then you wake up. Or you can ask the dream, I want to practice drawing. And I actually learned how to better draw eyes and facial expression during a dream one night. And I'm not, it's like, it's so weird. It sounds like pseudoscience or whatever, but it's freaking so cool once you get into it.
It also, like, I understand that it's your subconscious speaking.
It's like the holodeck from Star Trek.
Yeah, basically. And that right there is a really cool way of thinking about it, because you're able to do whatever you want to. And that is a very freeing experience, especially if you deal with like anxiety or, problems during a day. You have 12 hours, or well, depending on how long you sleep, you have, I would say 8 hours of time where you're doing nothing most of the time, and you're always dreaming. You just don't remember it. That's the main thing. It's about building recall and awareness, because you have a dream every single night, but you don't always remember it. I didn't mean 12 hours. I was going 12 and 12 for 24. Yeah, just cut it in half. But like, man, if anybody has any questions about that, please toss me a DM on Twitter. I would love to talk more about that, but literally this will be the whole podcast if y'all don't shut me up.
I've got two things I want to comment on for this. One, this sounds like incredible, and it seems like something that like, I mean, I've got a few things to comment on this actually. It seems like incredible. I feel like if I were to do it, I would lose perception of reality.
And that right there is something. Well, it's, how can I say it?
This is the plot of Inception.
Yeah. You will not experience it's not ever a bad thing to become lucid. And what's beautiful about it is that you can actually use that to confront nightmares and stop nightmares from happening. Because a recurring nightmare is something that you are repressing or you are trying to escape. But the best thing that you can do is in a nightmare situation, confront the thing that is scaring the frick out of you and ask what it represents, and then show it love. And in that way, you have unlocked that, and that nightmare will stop. Because I used to have terrible recurring nightmares. Like, you can ask Erica, I used to scream in the middle of the night. But ever since I started doing the lucid dreaming thing, I once turned an assailant into a fuzzy bunny. I'm not even kidding.
It's incredible.
And I was like, this is wonderful. And whenever I woke up, I had such a feeling of elation and just like, oh my God, I did this. And that is worth it, right? And it's the only time that I've read about there being a problem with losing touch of reality is if you have certain like mental issues that would cause that, like multiple personality disorder or something of that nature. There is a disconnect that does not allow for that to happen. And I can't explain it, but it is built in that you will never be like, oh, well, I just want to stay in the dream forever then. No, there are bodily processes that stop you from doing that. So you don't have to worry about that. But I absolutely love it. What's up?
The other thing I wanted to say is that like, like the way you talk about this, I know this is like based on real science, like being able to control the dreams, like that kind of thing. The way you describe it makes it almost seem like, man, this is how cults get started.
I know.
One of the things that you said that was really interesting to me was this idea that you can change your awake ideals and thought patterns by being in this lucid state. And you said that it's only a positive thing. Is there a chance that you, while lucid, can do I don't know, can do more harm to yourself in some way. Like you could, encounter something that creates fear or trauma when you wake up, or is it generally just a positive experience?
Isn't the idea that you're in control essentially? So you would be the one summoning it on yourself at that point?
So one thing that is generally frowned upon is harming or killing what would be known as a dream figure, because of the fact that those dream figures are technically yourself. So you want to treat yourself with as much love as possible. As long as you're doing that, you don't really have too much to worry about. And honestly, at the end of the dream, it's just a dream. So it's just about treating. It's really just about treating yourself with love.
All of this okay, so I'm not a drug user, and I've never used any sort of drugs, but I find certain aspects about the science behind some of this stuff very fascinating. And I've done a lot of reading and seeing like little mini docs and stuff on psychedelics and hallucinogens, and how they actually were doing research on those to help addicts like get out of addictions. But it's like there's so much that they're still like trying to study and figure out all of this sort of stuff. And the interesting thing about it is that when you go into that experience, you have to be in like a very particular frame of mind to obtain the benefits, and those who aren't in a particular frame of mind can actually come out like in worse shape. And there's so much more to it, but that felt very similar to what you were saying.
So kind of having that will of like I need this help, or I want to get better. I want to get over this addiction, and I want to like fight it in the most positive way possible. Having that mental aspect going into it would be similar to like having that mental aspect going into lucid dreaming.
So the thing about lucid dreaming that people mix up is like it's just being aware. It's just like, hey, being in the moment. Okay, like whenever let's say you're at a concert and you're just sitting there and taking it all in and just really, really enjoying yourself. That is living a lucid moment, or like being aware of something, or just being in that moment, and that right there is what it's all about. When it comes down to that, like there's like, what is it?
And also, I don't expect you to be like a complete expert on this.
Yeah,
so,
no.
There's things that are beyond, like, it's totally okay to be like, man, I don't know.
Of course. Yeah, I'm not going to talk crap if I don't know it.
Yeah.
But like there have been different like things that go into different, what is it called? Like supplements and things that can help you out with that to become lucid, right? Like, I can't remember any of them, but the main thing is it is something that anybody can attempt. And if they don't like it, they don't have to do it. Like you can attempt to do that. Keeping a dream journal is really fun, even if you're not going for lucid dreaming stuff, because it really it gives you an insight into, some of the little things that you wouldn't notice about yourself. Like they're just like, for some reason, I am always dreaming about being on a vacation with my family, because that's something that I used to do a lot and I really, really enjoyed it. So it shows itself in really positive ways in my dreams. So like that's the main thing. Like I probably have, and that becomes a lucid dream, what would be called a trigger, or a dream sign. There we go. That's the word. A lucid dream sign. So if I'm ever on a trip with my family, like in real life, I do like little reality checks. I'm like, am I dreaming right now? So that later on, whenever I dream about that thing, I can ask myself the same thing and become lucid and enjoy myself, if that makes sense. But yeah.
I learned a lot.
Bro, legitimately, I can. If y'all have any questions about this, I will talk your freaking ears off. I got all types of freaking stuff.
Can we tell you our dreams and can you dissect them for us?
Yeah. So no.
You thought I was joking when I said go get your doctorate. Like that's like you're like super in on this field, man.
No, I love it. I've been doing it for 1.5 years, and Erica tells me all the time, like you're so much happier. You're so much more like in the moment than you used to be. Cause like I used to be very aloof, and I mean, y'all seen my cast, y'all know how crazy I can get.
Oh yeah.
But like I used to be really, really scatterbrained and things like that. But now like it's helped me to focus, and it's helped me to remember stuff. Like I remember a lot more now. And that's the beautiful thing. But over time, it's just a fun project that I got into back in like 2021, and it's just been a lot of fun. And I've learned a lot about it. But yeah, like legit, if y'all have any questions, freaking throw them at me, because I will legitimately talk your ear off about this. I love this stuff.
I was thinking about like how, you know, like sometimes you like to do little what ifs where it's like, oh, what if, you know, everybody was like what would everyone be as a Pokemon, like based on their personality, or what would everyone's like fantasy job class be? For us as content creators, it just comes up as like Bard. I think we found our Circle of Dreams Druid in Jared here.
I've never done any lucid dreaming, but I will say that anyone interested in keeping a dream journal should for a time, because it is a fun self-reflective thing.
It really is.
It's I kept one for a few months a few years ago, and it was just really fun like there was a fun element of like, oh, you know, I can see why I dreamt about that. I was just doing that or whatever. And then also it was fun because some of them are just completely insane, and I was able to share that with Mal and be like, Mal, hey, check out this dream.
Because
check out this dream.
Me and Erica do the same thing sometimes. Like we'll talk about like, apparently sometimes Dream Jared is a little bit of a butthead, and Dream Erica is a little bit of a butthead too. Because like she'll wake up and she's just like, I got to tell you what Dream Jared did last night. I'm like, what? What did he do? And I'm not getting in trouble for this.
You cannot be mad at me about this.
Because like, and what's funny is that her mom actually sometimes will dream about her dream husband, and get upset with him just a little bit.
Get upset with him in real life because there's like
just a
there's that
bit.
attachment there. There's that connect.
Exactly. Well, the cool thing about Erica's parents is that they've been together for almost 40 or 50 years. So there is that massive connection between them. So if something happens in a dream, it's almost like real life to her. So she's like, Ron, what are you doing? It's just funny. Oh, man. All that. I love that type of stuff, man.
I have a question about dreams. I might have asked this before last time we talked about dreams or not. Do most of your dreams routinely have you in them?
So I don't think I've ever had an experience where I'm in the third person watching myself do something. It's always first person for me for some reason.
That's wild.
I do wish that at times I could have that. Like I wish that I could see in the third person, like a camera following me. But I have, and this is cool, call me a furry or whatever. I've had like paws and stuff. Like I could tell that I was like a bunny rabbit or whatever. I've also been like a wolf and like different things. And it was really freaking cool, but it was always in the first person. So I would look down at my hands, and they were paws. I've actually drawn it. I've drawn it out because like that's another way of doing a dream journal is drawing a moment in that you can remember in vivid like detail. And I've actually drawn out that moment because it was such a freaking cool moment to me. And like, yeah. And those are the types of things that, and like, I just want to reassure everyone like listening to this, that it's whatever you want to make it. It's not dangerous. And it's all about just, you don't have to stress about it. There are days where I'm like, I don't want to write down my dreams. I'm tired, you know? And I write down, cause I actually, if y'all remember, I have the Discord server that I use as a journal or whatever, and like a tracker. And I just write down, taking a break for the day. And that's all I write. There is no pressure. It's between you and you. Cause that's all that the dreams are. It's just another fun way to experience, like you. I think that's the most beautiful thing. Somebody in chat's like, furries rise. And that's
See, it's funny you mentioned always having your dream. You said your dreams are always in first person, right? You've never done third person?
Mine are too.
Because I've had an interesting thing I've noticed with my dreams too, is like if I am either physically not in the dream, so I'm just like a floating camera, like an observer, or if I am in the dream, I am first person unless something changes on me, like say like I turn into someone else, or like I grab a power up or something, then it goes third person. But routinely, like if I'm third person, like I'm not just normally myself. And then like a month ago, I had a dream where I was just regular me, but it was third person, and it like completely threw me off. I'm like, what? Why? Yeah. I don't understand this right now.
So I think I may have had one moment where I remember that, but I remember, so this is so strange to me. In the dream, I was in first person, but whenever I woke up, I remembered the dream in third person. Like I was watching what I was doing. And so this is a weird phenomenon. Have y'all ever had a moment where you were thinking about something that you did in the past and you're seeing it in third person? Have y'all ever had that experience before?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's because your memory is just your brain attempting to piece together things. So,
because like,
sense.
So it's so weird that doesn't freaking happen. This poll. It's so weird that this that doesn't happen in my dreams very often, because like I remember things that I do in third person. Like I can think to me going to the store today, or to the cafe today, and I can see myself driving in third person. It's so strange, but if I do that in a dream, that doesn't work, and it's so strange. But
I had one dream. I think I don't know what exactly happened, because I think there was some lucidity to it. I was just like, I was at my, this is like when I was significantly younger, I was still living with my parents. I was at my parents' house out in like the backyard, and I was flying. And I was just like, cool, flying. I don't know what happened. I stopped flying and just plummeted straight into the ground.
Yep, that will happen sometimes. If you, because like once again, it's all about the thought process that's going on, right? So if you think that, hey, I'm flying. Oh, I don't think. Wait, this doesn't seem right. You will start going down. Hopefully, not in a very dramatic fashion. Plus, you know, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't really do anything if you hit the ground. Sometimes you'll go through the ground. That's actually really cool. But I know it probably sounds scarier than it is. It's not a cult, you know.
It sounds like a glitch in a video game.
Yes, and like, oh man, it's so freaking exciting to talk about this type of stuff, because like I don't really get to talk about it too much because I can't stop. But if you think of your dreams as like a virtual reality, it helps you to I wouldn't say control, but it helps you to become more mindful in those dream moments, because it's like, hey, this is virtual reality. Oh wait, I'm dreaming. Yo, let me try to do this. Let me try to shoot a Kamehameha out of my hands, or let me try to control water. I've been able to experience these things, and it's so freaking cool.
Then you wake up and vomit from motion sickness.
You know, I've never given it thought until right this moment, but because whenever you're having dreams, your brain is piecing together things generally from recent activity, right? Like a lot of the times you're dreaming about things that were from just the previous day, the day that you were awake. And I'm really curious if there's some sort of correlation to experiencing a dream in third person, either for yourself or for being something else, and playing third person video games.
Dude,
because if you were playing a lot of third person video games, and you know your eyes are getting that and your brain is processing that very specific image, it makes sense to me that you'd be far more likely to have a third person dream because your brain has been processing that.
That'd be a really interesting thing to see if there's a correlation about, because I've talked to people who play VR chat a lot, and about like lucid dreaming, and they're like, yo, I am always in first person, and I can, you know, easily change into a different like persona, I guess you would call it. They can easily change back and forth because they have experience doing that in VR chat. And I'm like, frick, I need to play me some VR chat. Like, go. But like, yeah. Oh man. There's a funny story on Cast. This actually made it into one of my highlight compilations. I had a dream one night that I was streaming, and I had gotten a $1,500 tip in the dream, right? And I was so elated. I was like, oh, frick yeah, dude, let's go. And then I woke up, and I was like, dang it, frick. So later on that day, I was streaming for real, like an IRL, and I told my chat about the dream. and this crazy freaker, he goes by Black Leviathan. Thank you for all the support. He drops a $1,500 tip on me after I talk about it on the dream, and I'm like, bro, this is 100% now a dream sign for me. If I ever get another freaking like tip that big again, like on cast, I will use it. And
am I dreaming?
Yes. Oh my God, am I dreaming? Because I did that right when he dropped it too. I was like, am I dreaming? And I did like a reality check, because that right there, we have been in a, like, ever since we were younger, or like ever since we were born, actually, we have been in a state of not being aware, if that makes sense. Like, not like fully aware. And becoming fully aware throughout your lifetime takes practice, because you have had so much practice in not being aware. If you start doing it, it is a hard thing to begin. That's why, like, people who do meditation, they're like, oh my God, I have so many thoughts. Frick, this is so hard. It's like, you've always had those thoughts, but now you're noticing them, you know? And that has been a struggle for me, because I'm like, man, my brain is going 1,000 miles a second. But and like people will ask me, it's like, you're a Christian, why are you meditating? I'm like, it's not a religious thing for me. It's just a mind and body exercise that helps me to sleep. And it's you know, I've had people actually come at me sideways for that. I'm like, I don't do it for that reason. Like, I guess you would say I know my foundation. But the brain's a really, really cool thing, and it's just been so fun learning about this type of stuff.
I like the I like the idea that like a normal reaction to it's we just got a piece of fan art that's Jared with a zipper T bunny from Animal Crossing. Hi, Jared, and Jared be like, this is worse, after Jared overcame his dream and turned it into a bunny. But anyway, I like that the normal reaction to getting such a large donation like that would be, am I dreaming? But now you have to actually worry about if you're dreaming.
Yeah, well, it's not really a worry, but it's like,
well,
that makes for a really, really good dream sign.
And now it's the guess I'll die meme, but it's Jared saying, guess I'm a cult leader.
It's not a cult. All right, listen, I'm a Potemkin main. It's not a cult. Oh, God. Oh, man, that got me. But yeah, well, thanks for letting me talk about this for a couple minutes. Like, I love talking
couple minutes as I look at the timer. We're almost.
Yeah, I freaking warned y'all before I started talking.
I know. I just find it funny that you just said a couple minutes.
It was half the podcast. It was funny though, because
time dilation.
Just the problem with this was that it was interesting enough that just when I was like, all right, I'll let Jared be done with it, either me or John or Tom had a question.
Y'all kept asking questions.
I was like, well, I do want to know this.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I guess we'll talk about like dreams we had, because I remembered the one I had last night / this morning. So I was like, oh, I guess we'll go into that. But no, I was like, I'm way more invested on this talk.
Nah, like
anyway, thanks for coming to Jared's TED Talk.
Wait, hold on. The producer has a question.
Yes.
So wait, so do you have like an Inception style like totem thing, or is it not that elaborate?
Man, I wish I did, because it'd make it a lot easier for me, honestly.
I'll make you one. Oh wait, no, it's supposed to be something that you make, so you know how. Never mind.
Well, the other thing too is that it there's a chance it won't follow him into the dream.
Yeah, exactly. So you know what? That's funny that you say that. Here we go. Another 5 minutes at least.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's
don't worry. We'll end with colon talk. So just keep going.
Okay,
more punctuation. So I actually, it's really funny that you say that. I went and bought a amethyst bracelet from my my sister's shop, because she sells like precious stones and stuff, and I wear it all the time. And anytime that I notice it on my wrist, I will do a reality check. And it's basically just like, it doesn't normally follow me into my dreams, but it did one time. And because of that, because of that one time, it got me into a lucid state. And it's just like the totem in Inception. Like, it's actually like, Inception's pretty freaking cool about like how it shows off the idea of dreaming and how it works. Like, that movie is really cool with everything. But having an object that you can return your awareness to, whether in lucid dreaming or in meditation, can really help you to focus. And that is like it's a godsend for that type of thing. Speaking of which, I just put it on because I forgot it up in my office.
Are you dreaming?
The concept of a dream check, sorry, is someone who is just like completely outside of this and literally has never had, that I can recall, any instance in my entire life where I was like, wait a minute, am I dreaming? Like, it's so bizarre to hear you talk about that. Like, I get it. If you're doing lucid dreaming, I could see how that would be beneficial. But for me, I'm just like, that's not necessary. If I am dreaming, then I wake up and then I'm like, that was a dream.
Wait, you've never had a point in your dream where you're like, wait a minute, this is a dream, or like, wait a minute, I graduated school like 10 years ago, like nothing like that?
That basically never happens. The dream
what?
plays
I'm
out,
so jealous.
That the dream plays out, I wake up, and that's that.
Fair enough.
I like the there's an old Calvin and Hobbes comic where it shows like the like Bill Watterson was really good at like showing things in very creative ways, and he showed pretty much like how like how the brain worked, and it's like a bunch of little Calvins going down the subconscious to grab a movie, and it's like and that's what the dream is like all like the like the brain cells that look like little Calvins taking a break to watch a movie. That's the dream.
God,
and like they keep like changing their taste in the films. So they keep changing the dream, and like Calvin wakes up, he's like, I had so many weird dreams last night.
This has all reminded me. Sorry, this is circling back around to our talk earlier about bladders, but I remember now. I had a
very
dream.
anatomy heavy episode.
Oh, God.
I had it. This is from a while ago, and I don't think I told this on Disconliversary, but please stop me if I have. I had a dream where I was in class. I was reminded of this because John said about being in school. I was in class. I was in college, and I had to pee. And I got up from class and I went into the hallway where there was a bathroom, and I opened up the door and I realized it was one of those bathrooms where like you open the door and like that's it. Like there's not stalls inside. It's just that's how it works. It's just one toilet. So I open up the door and it's a very like heavy door and the light doesn't work. And because the light doesn't work, I can't see unless I have the door open. So I am then, like, I have half of my body in the hallway and the other half in the bathroom, and I'm peeing, and I in the dream I had to pee so bad, and I remember crying. I'm like in the hallway, but only half in the hallway, and I'm like peeing, and it's getting everywhere. Like it's kind of in the toilet, it's on the floor, and it's on the walls. And I'm just screaming and crying, and I keep looking into the hallway like someone's going to come walking down the hallway, and they're going to see me half in the bathroom just pissing everywhere.
Anyway, in the dark.
when I woke up, which I did shortly after I got into that, I really had to pee, really badly.
So those, I'll be straight with you. Those dreams suck. Whenever you have to like go to the bathroom, and then you know if you go to the bathroom in the dream and you're like, I do not feel refreshed in any way, shape, or form, and I still have to go. That crap sucks.
And then the other thing is that you completely run the risk of just pissing yourself. Like, it's just, I mean, it's a totally real thing. No one should be ashamed. In your adult life, I want everyone to know right here. In your adult life, you're going to pee and poop yourself.
Yep.
And it's okay. Society will tell you. They'll be like, no, if you're more than, I don't know what stupid arbitrary age, that you won't do it. And if you do it, you should feel ashamed. Listen, things happen. You get sick, you poop yourself. That's just how it works.
I had one time where I'd woken up from like a super intense dream and I really had to use the bathroom. So I get up, walk to the bathroom, lower my drawers and start doing my business. And then I wake up and I piss the bed.
Oh no.
Yeah.
See, I've never had that happen, thank God. But you know what's ironic about like all of that? In those situations, if you can notice that something's weird, that can make you lucid. And like become aware that you're dreaming. Because it's like, oh man, I have been peeing for 10 minutes. This is weird. Oh, I must be dreaming. And then that will allow you to, well, first of all, stop that and then move on into a different type of dreamscape. And it's, yeah, man, it's cool. It's fun. This is y'all's fault. Y'all keep talking about it. I told you. I warned you an hour ago.
I talked about pee.
Bruh.
Man, y'all have dreams about like peeing and stuff, and like I'm having dreams about like moving into an apartment building and there's just pieces of the floor missing that I just fall through randomly.
I get the feeling that's because you've lived in so many different places in such a short amount of time.
Maybe like the dream I had last night was like it was basically a dorm that was the size of like a high-rise apartment. Like it was like a dorm building that was like 30 floors high, and I was just moving around. I was there with like my friend that I lived with a couple years after university, and we had separate rooms that were on top of each other. But like they were rooms that only one person could live in, but we were basically like still sharing it. But every time I was walking around with stuff to like move to my room, I would find like a piece of the floor would fall out. I would fall to another floor, like physically thud, and then get up and collect my stuff and then move to another spot. Like that, apparently it happened so much in the dream. Reese said I actually started yelling in my dream like something was happening. So I guess I was like, I audibly yelled when I was falling in the dream.
Yep. That's oh, you'd be surprised
Shit!
at how.
Yeah, basically, she was like, yeah, did you have a weird dream or something? You just going like, ah.
Yep, that's. I would wake Erica up with that, but it was usually only during like a nightmare. Like I would like. There was only one time I remember her waking me up laughing because I said something in my dream like, "Oh my god, I gotta fart so bad" or something like that, and she just started laughing. And I woke up and I'm like, "What the frick are you laughing about?" It's like 5 a.m. She's like, "You will not believe what you just said in your dream." But
Man,
it was just, it's funny.
That can be very frightening if you are in bed with someone else and they have been asleep and then they just speak. It's extremely alarming. That's actually we do a thing on Breakfast Stream where at the end of the stream, if people stick around after we've ended, we say Thunderdome, and that all got started because there was one night I was up on my phone. Mal had been asleep for like 30 minutes and just loudly in her sleep went Thunderdome, and I thought I was gonna piss myself. And then after I calmed down, I was like, what the hell? Why would you
Thunderdome.
And like the next morning I told her this and I was like, have you ever seen Mad Max? And she's like, no. And like, why did you say Thunderdome?
I had a friend of mine
Where the Thunderdome coffee shirt comes from.
Yes it is.
Wow. Whenever I was in high school, I had a friend of mine who would literally just talk in his sleep like all the time. And what's funny is that on a youth trip, we were in the room with him and he was sleeping. And some of the teenagers that were like, because we were room leaders, so it was me, him, and then like 3 or 4 other guys in like a big old hotel room. They started talking to him in his sleep, and he started responding to what they were saying, and they were like getting him to just respond to some really just rancid crap. And then he wakes up halfway through, and he just goes, "No." And like, because they asked him like a really bad question, but he was just like, "No, go to bed." Because they were all just freaking with him.
I actually I do that. Mao, over the years that we've been married, there's been several different times where she has had complete conversations with me once I've fallen asleep. In order for it to happen, it generally has to be like an extremely exhausting day. Like I have to be completely wiped out.
Yeah.
And if I start speaking in my sleep, and it's been one of those days, there is a chance that Mal can actually have a conversation with me. So.
Oh man, that's just funny.
There was one night I was living with my parents at the time, and I had a bunch of friends over because we were getting ready for a convention the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just down in the kitchen getting stuff prepared, and my parents are both asleep. But my mom comes downstairs, and I'm just like, "Oh shoot, are we being too loud? So, sorry, we'll keep it down." And my mom just goes, "I have to connect to the internet." What? And we're all just like, "What?" And she goes, "I have to like bleary eyed, like not really like in a panic, but she's speaking with some sense of urgency. She's like, I have to connect to the internet so I can go to the bathroom."
Oh God, that is literally my hell.
So like we're trying to like logic through this because we think she's awake, and she's like, no, it's not gonna work. I have to connect to the internet because I have to go to the bathroom, but I have to connect to the internet. And I'm just like, okay, Mom, and I take her and I escort her to the bathroom, you know, and like close the door behind her and everything like that. And you know, like she does her business, and then like she comes out and she's like, is that better? And then she's laughing because like she's awake now, and she's like, yeah, no, we're all good now. And then she goes back upstairs.
Yep. God. Sleepwalking is a weird thing, dude. Like that. Thank God I've never experienced, and I never want to experience that. Knock on wood. That's just a strange thing. Like I've seen videos of people sleepwalking. I'm like, man, how do they just not get into trouble?
It's like I watched some of those Daily Dose of Internet videos, and there was this one where this guy was sleepwalking, but his sleepwalking habit was that he would get up and just stare at other people lying down.
No.
So like he had like this like weird like grin on his face, and his eyes were half lit. He's just leaned over, just staring at people.
Oh God, no!
Yeah, I don't love that.
I'll show you the video when this is over. It's really bizarre.
Oh man!
So in the chat goes, so he was the sleep paralysis demon.
God, sleep paralysis is another thing that I spent. I sometimes I'll become really fixated on interesting topics like this, and I'll be like, I want to learn about sleep paralysis.
Much of the chat's dismay because I keep seeing people saying, "Can we please move on from this?"
And,
Open the creepiness, yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing is that I've never experienced that, but all of the accounts of folks that have, it's like it's the most terrifying thing.
So let me give you a little bit of an insight into like something that I've learned about sleep paralysis. It can actually be used as a jumping point into what is called a hyper lucid dream, like something like one of the most mind-blowing experiences. And I'm not talking about like drugs or anything like that, because if you are ever in that, so if anybody's ever in this situation, and like, you know, if you wake up and you're like, what the frick? What you do is you just chill. And when you fall back asleep, you will wake up in your dream, in a lucid dream, because you will have been aware that you were awake for a moment. And that is a massive and awesome jumping point into a lucid dream. Like it's like a trampoline straight into like what would be known as like a level 5, which is like hyper.
Oh my God,
lucid.
there's levels.
There are levels,
of course,
actually, yes.
Because it's not a cult. Remember?
Sorry, this is new information.
It's not a cult, but there are levels.
No, like legit though. Like,
well,
it's all about, once again, awareness. And
going back to the Inception thing as well. It's like this is straight up. We need to go deeper.
That's exactly what it is. And it's y'all listen, it's y'all's fault. I warned you. I would talk about this the entire time.
Well, okay. In order to wrap up the dream talk once and for all, I will say that again, it and I said this last time that dreaming and lucid dreaming came up on the podcast. It just seems like a lot of work. I now if it helps you get to sleep, then I think that's great. For me, I can sleep generally, so I'll probably just continue to sleep. But it does sound interesting.
And that
sound interesting.
That is the beauty of all of it, is that it is completely up to you what type of thing you want to experience. And if you put the time into it, you can. If you don't want to, that is perfectly fine as well.
And I think the only appropriate thing to do is to end off the podcast with whatever would be the complete opposite of lucid dreaming. And
that would be a colon examination.
I mean, honestly,
I mean,
that wouldn't be a colon examination. It'd just be a prostate check.
I was hoping he was going to say complete silence, and then we just spent 10 minutes not saying a word.
Okay, so
and then after the 10 minutes, you play the outro like nothing's wrong.
So I do. So funny segue. Have y'all played the game Cult of the Lamb?
Yes.
Not yet.
No.
What is the name of your cult, John?
Cult of the Egg Farm, because we played it on stream.
Mine is the Good Beans, and I love them.
Oh no! You did the same thing Reese did. Reese was trying to habilitate her cult, make the nicest cult around.
Mine was the nicest cult. We never had to build a prison. We actually never had to do it. It was so funny how it just worked out perfectly. I will say, if you've ever played Enter the Gungeon or Toho, the bosses in that game will not cause you any trouble whatsoever. Like you will just win.
It's the same devs as Enter the Gungeon, right?
No, it's the same publisher. It's
Publisher,
Devolver.
okay.
Yeah. It's Devolver Digital. And I tell you what, man, Devolver knows how to freaking find good games to publish. Like they just every single game they publish is a freaking gem, dude. Like I think they published Fall Guys, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm looking at Massive Monster is the studio. I'm trying to
Yeah,
think
that's
what
the
they
studio.
made. I don't recognize any of these games. The Adventure Pals, Never Give Up, Super. What is this?
Let me see like what Devolver Digital is.
Super Marshmallow Kingdom. I don't recognize any of these games.
Well, no, that's Massive Monster. I'm talking about the Devolver themselves, because like Devolver's got some freaking banger games.
Yeah, no, they've got great. They also have like really good marketing because they put on that E3 presentation every year.
Dude, they know what they are doing, and I freaking love them. I mean, especially for Exit the Gungeon. That's also another game. Yeah. But yeah, like Gato Roboto was put out by them. My friend Pedro, which I've never played. The Messenger.
I've heard so many good things about that. They put out Hatoful Boyfriend.
Yeah,
they did.
They're the more recent releases.
Let me see. What else have they put out?
I played My Friend Pedro for a little bit, and
I didn't like it.
Really? What didn't you like
I've never
specifically?
played it. I've never played it.
I kind of got like it took a bit to get going to a point where like it was just kind of the entire time. We had to do it for our podcast for our TP Plus, and I remember by the end of it I was just kind of sick of it. And then like I got to like the weird banana dream sequence at the end. I'm like, all right, this is all right, but this is a little too late. It just felt like it went on too long.
That's what I've heard about it too.
You know me, I only play games for 30 minutes. So.
Oh yeah, for 30 minutes it's a great game. But like I completed it. I was like, no, I'm done with this.
That's weird.
They also
I was looking through the list of Devolver published games. Of course, they published Genital Jousting.
Yeah,
you can't be shocked by that.
Hotline Miami 2, Downwell, Titan Souls, which is another really wonderful game.
Grease. I see Grease on here. The Grease was a good one.
Bro, they just know. They know.
GRIS, by the way, chat. Not like.
I thought it was Grizz.
I think it's pronounced Gree.
Oh.
I'm going by how Professor Bunsen Honeydew pronounced it at the Game Awards.
I didn't know they did Katana Zero. Oh, frick! No wonder why that game was fun. Frick. I'm just looking through.
Fall Guys. There it is. They did publish Fall Guys.
They have probably put out like at least 10 of my favorite games. Like it's kind of nuts. Oh man.
Yeah, one of the Game Award years, they probably did it for multiple years, but one of the Game Award years they had the Muppets present an award. And
wasn't it the Goose Game?
So they had a joke with the Untitled Goose Game because they put Beaker into Untitled Goose Game.
That's right.
And then the goose escaped the game.
Yep, I remember.
And kept interrupting them while he was trying to read the name of the winner.
That's right.
That was right. It was like Untitled Beaker Game. That's what it was.
Yeah, because like they didn't really they didn't win the award or anything like that. But the fact that freaking Untitled Goose Game got like their own segment, that means so much more than the award, in my opinion. You know. Like when you build something around that game like that, like everybody knows that game's freaking awesome. So
wait, the Swedish Chef is in Overcooked too?
Yeah. Did you not know that?
Ooh, no, I didn't know that.
That was actually one of the things they revealed during one of their segments at Game Awards.
Huh. They've got the Muppets on for a lot of those Game Awards things.
If I ever play
two, but yeah.
If I ever play Cult of the Lamb on cast, it will all be bunnies, like just different colored bunnies everywhere. 100%. I won't be able to help myself.
I think we've officially run out of things to say.
No, sorry, I'm laughing at this.
Why is that one image so crusty? What the frick?
Because I'm very crusty, and that's you mimicking me, I guess.
It is an image of our Disc Only podcast background, but it says Dreams Only, and it's all Jared.
Listen, man.
It is four images of Jared. One of them being the one that we normally use for our talking head. The other 3 being taken from his streams, and one of them is like really compressed.
It's ultra compressed. Also, I love the fact that they used the one for you. That just makes me happy.
Listen, here's.
Oh, you're glitching. That's the reason why it looks like that.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
Okay.
What we'll do is, we talked a lot about dreams, so we will pledge to not talk about lucid dreaming or dreams or that sort of thing
until the next episode.
That's a good pledge.
Yeah, there we go. For 29 days.
I was going to say...
27 days.
But there'd have to be a stipulation in there if someone had a really sweet-ass dream.
Listen, I wasn't here. I wasn't here last month. I had to get double my my time in. Okay, is that fair?
What? That is fair. That makes sense to
me. See?
Episode 11 was called Dreams Only, so we talked about this over a year ago, at the very least.
No. We were talking about dreaming, not lucid dreaming.
Oh, that's true. We did talk about lucid dream, but not to this extent.
Have I told you about the time that I got called by Kyle Ward to fix my my Stepmania? I'm pretty sure we've never talked about that.
Never.
That should probably be the subject of the next podcast in its entirety.
Customer service.
Have we talked about all those horrible stabbings that go on at Waffle Houses and Denny's?
I don't think so.
Isn't that where Outback Stab House came from?
Oh, we almost got through 2 episodes. We almost got through 2 episodes without mentioning it. Almost.
Listen,
put the sign back to 0. Put the sign back to 0.
The whiteboard eraser.
That's Twitter content right there. That's
well, perfect. No, it literally was, because it was the first piece I actually had on Twitter time today. Was literally episode since last Outback Stab House mention 1, and it's because you weren't on the last episode.
There it is.
Wait a minute. What the frick? I didn't even come up with Outback Stab House. How is that my fault?
Today it is.
What?
Today it is, Jared.
I'm sorry I inadvertently baited you, Jared.
Yeah, I did. Listen, that's not fair. Tom, I would like to rent a space.
I'll give it to you at a discount.
Thank you.
1,500.
A rent discount. Ooh.
I'm gonna be knocking on my own head to tell you to tell you to keep it down. While
how's the new head, by the way, Tom? Is the new one treating you well?
Yeah. Oh man, like the old head. Let's not talk about the old head.
Amen.
I don't know if I want to like the Twitter post that says "Guess I'm a cult leader," but I'm gonna do it.
Look, at some point, if I've learned anything from the internet, sometimes you just have to accept the role that you've been given.
That's a very true
That's
statement.
true. You could argue that the Johniverse in and of itself is a multi-dimensional cult.
I have accepted Rosa John for better and for worse, yes.
For good or for ill.
There's many things, and I speak not only for myself, but for so many of my friends, for things I've seen posted online, that I've talked with others, and they're like, there's a lot of different stuff online for you and for all these people. Like, what would you do, like, for your next employer? And I was like, I don't think there can be a next employer. Like, I think that, there's too many, like, weird, bizarre things. Like, if this doesn't work out, I'm not sure. I think we're gonna all join Jared's cult.
It's not a cult.
Nah, man, I got the perfect escape plan. I have the perfect escape plan for mine.
I go wake up.
I write a PhD paper. That's what I do. So I was working the entire time undercover on a paper for just an analysis of what the internet will do to a human being if you let them just have free reign. Here are my findings. And that's why I had to go so deep undercover. That's why I have no work history currently, because I've been going off of grant money only. So I really need this new job. So if you really want to hook me up, I would appreciate it.
Bro, that right there.
No, I go down with my career.
Dude, I tell you, that's pretty good. That's impressive.
All right. Talking points for this episode of Disc Only.
Lucid dreaming. That's it. Boom, done.
It's just lucid dreaming 20 times.
I hope
to the person who makes the Jeopardy categories could just be lucid dreaming, lucid dreaming, lucid dreaming.
Lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming.
I
Lucid
warned
dreaming.
you all.
in
Lucid
fairness,
dreaming
I'm looking
and
at these
lucid
talking
dreaming.
points, and a lot of them have to do with dreaming.
Frick off.
All right.
It's true.
I can only be so creative, Steven. What do you want?
No, Dan, you're good. It's a very telling statement of what the episode was.
All right. The actual talking points for this episode. You and your colon. Long dead neutron. This space for rent. Family history of memes. Hospitals are not hotels. The 8-bit dreamer. Dream come true. Inception totem. Hallway pants problem. Thunderdome. 5G to P. Level 5 Dreamwalker. Not a cult. And old head.
All right, so I want you to know that 9 of those were not about dreams.
That's
but
true.
5
I like that you had to count. You had
Thank
to
you
count.
very much. Oh,
5?
looks like
Hold on.
I wasn't the only one.
I only got 4.
You only got 4. Well, I'm counting Thunderdome and not a cult.
Thunderdome was
Okay.
literally described to be from a dream, though.
Yeah.
I mean, 5G to P and hallway pants problems were also dreams as well.
Yeah.
Listen, those were y'all's dreams, not mine.
Tom, what you got going on?
Oh, sugar snap peas. John and I are playing Halo Reach.
Oh, Frit.
Amen.
We're coming to a it's coming to a head. 2 years since I screamed at John that I wanted Halo Reach, and now I'm forcing him to play through the campaign with me on Heroic. You can check that out on my YouTube channel. Star Fox Adventure should be coming to an end soon, so we'll see what the future holds for there. In terms of streams, I've been playing through all of Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and doing a lot of exploring. So if you want like the chill kind of conversational ones, those are it, because I keep interrupting myself to do the side content when there's so much story ahead. Might be doing something Pokemon randomizer related at some point in the near future, because gosh darn, if those aren't just the bee's knees. And I think my VTuber model is getting rigged sometime this month. So either this month or next month, I might be premiering that.
Ooh.
Neat.
Oh yeah, and we keep stealing the Turkin's stash of all night pot.
Steven.
Yeah. So the first thing I'm going to say is that after a long, very busy, stress-filled summer, I just about have vlogs caught up. I'm under a week away, which is pretty good, because that means I can finally get back to releasing stuff from 2018 and something that is relevant to everyone. The first Coliseum, which has never actually come out. So that's exciting. That should be pretty soon. As far as other content goes, Mao and I started doing Pokemon Let's Go in January, and we are going to be finishing it in September. So not this Friday, but next Friday will be the final stream. And I think we will. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to catch all of them. I think I'm going to speak it into existence.
I can't believe you guys beat Giovannini.
Giovannini, the great Giannini. The final thing is, I just released a video a few days back on Steven Plays where my parents played Untitled Goose Game, and I really feel like people should see it because it's real good. My parents are not gamers, and they got to play like the 2-player mode in Goose Game, and it is very funny. Also, I don't know what it is, but it becomes sexual fairly quickly. I hope that everyone enjoys it. It's very good.
I remember the comment on that video where someone was like, how could this be so raunchy yet so wholesome?
It's an amazing ability they have. They actually played Little Big Planet with me back in the day. We did a video, and it was the same way. I was like, how did you guys do this? They're talented.
Spoiler, it wasn't his mom's fault. It was his dad's fault.
They're both very capable of interjecting that comedy.
Jared.
I'm going to go to bed and lucid dream. No, I'm joking. All right.
Reality.
I'm going to describe every one of my dreams after this podcast, Jared, and you better analyze them.
So, Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, as normal, we doing the drum stream stuff. Recently, I have completely overhauled my YouTube channel. I am now doing all of the work for the YouTube channel. I had a guy helping me, and I'm now doing all of it. I'm really, really proud of the work that I've been putting into the the thumbnails, and just the videos themselves have been popping the frick off. So I want to say thank you to anybody who's been watching those. I'm really, really happy, and I cannot wait. I have videos set daily up until October 13th. I've been working, and I'm very happy with all of them, and I cannot wait to share them with y'all. Also, next week, I might be having a friend or two over here at the house on the East Coast, and it's a metal boy named Jack. We might be doing some stuff together here very soon, so keep an eye out for that. Jack and Sheena are going to be coming down for the week if everything goes well, and we have a massive project which I am not going to talk about, but look out for that because it's going to be super fun. That's going to be happening in October, but we got to work on it. I'm sorry. Yes, we have to work on it this month in order to get it done. So very, very excited. Looking forward to hanging out with Sussy Jack. I cannot wait. It's going to be wonderful. And Sheena. She's fantastic too.
All right, for me, my schedule for the week is a little wild. Tomorrow, we're continuing our Xenoblade Chronicles playthrough, which is a Coliseum incentive. We're 40% through the game. I think that's what chat told me. I forget exactly. We're going to be doing the Prison Island segment. That's where we're at that. Saturday is Fortune Cookie, which will be probably starting off with some Splatoon 3 since that drops this Friday, which means it's just going to be a ton of salmon run the entire time. Sunday, I actually have a stream, it's looking like. As long as it doesn't change last minute, I think we're having a Donkey Kong Country 2 race. We're going to be doing a 102% race on that, is what I have heard. I don't know if we are 100% locked in on that, but I believe that is the word on the street. And Mondays for game clearing is currently Conker's Bad Fur Day, which we started yesterday, and that is a video game by definition. Because wow. Because wow.
I've never heard it be called that before.
No, man, like that is
a lot of questionable choice in that game, and not just the content.
Not just the content. So the gameplay's also got some interesting things. And from what people have told me, it's about to go in some interesting and not as fun directions, which is impressive because I timed it. It took me 50 goddamn minutes to piss on 3 rocks to move to the next part of Conker's Bad Fur Day from a nightclub.
Yep, because when you stop pissing on them, they get up and start running at you to punch you, and you don't got enough time to start pissing on them again.
Always finish pissing on rocks, otherwise you will get punched in the face. That is the moral of the story Conker's Bad Fur Day taught me.
Lesson.
Yeah, we are still going to be planning out, hopefully soon, we're going to talk to the guys tonight and try to figure out when the bonus stream is for Coliseum, because we still haven't done the last 10 games from Chaos Fortune Cookie. And then it's actually going to be a little quiet on my stream after that because I'm actually going on vacation in a week or two. I'm going home to visit my family back in Newfoundland. So I'm going to be going over to the east coast of Canada for the rest of September and the beginning of October. I think maybe my first stream back is either game clearing or disc only, because as far as I'm aware of, October 4th, Tuesday, is the next disc only episode.
Yes.
Yes. Dan, what about you?
Same as usual. Twitch, TV, Motion Dan. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, I guess. Yeah. Yep.
Go follow him.
It's Dan.
I like how this was probably the podcast that Dan has interjected the most during the middle of it, but when given his actual time to talk, he had the least to say.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Words. He used all his words during the stream.
It all makes sense now.
According to chat, you're playing Skyrim, and that you and Emmy are playing Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, it's been me and Josh and Emmy, and yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, John's going to Newfoundland, and he's going to come back with a Newfoundland.
What?
The dog breed.
Oh, no. God, no. God, no. My sister had one of those. I'm just like, no. There's fur everywhere.
They're massive.
They're massive. I don't know if the cat's going to survive having a dog in the house. And then I had to leave in like a week or two after that to go to a meals. So, so I have like 3 trips coming up in the next 2 months. It's going to be wild.
Hey, Ray's brought back a dog. Your problem now. Going to a meals.
Oh, I like how this is implying I just went home and didn't bring my wife with me.
True.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on vacation, babe. Yeah, you have fun here. Yeah, enjoy like the snow that probably is gonna happen in September. All right, folks, that's going to do it for the podcast. As always, I'm stalling till I remember the entire quote. A special thank you to Popsky for our theme song, Prism Shard for our logo, Paper Pennies for the beautiful art in our intro, and our producer is Motion Dan. The next episode is Tuesday, October 4th. I'll see you all next time for probably more of Jared talking about lucid dreaming, which, to be fair, I would like to specify... We all think that was actually really fucking cool, the 4 of us here.
100%.
I enjoy it.
Because I don't want Jared to be like, God, I'm sorry. Like, no, we thought it was cool.
No, it's part of my contract that I have to be bullied. It's perfectly fine.
You are part of the 4 because Jared's
I am one of the 4. Yeah, I am stupid. Okay.
Wait,
bye,
what?
everybody.
It's not that I didn't enjoy. I actually really enjoyed learning about it. It's just, I feel very strongly that Jared is completely honest when he says that he could talk about this forever. So
Jared, why did I see myself in third person? Jared, why did I see myself in third person?
What? Because you were not.
No, not the outro. Keep talking about it.
You're not looking through the right glasses.
What? You're playing third-person video games prior to this experience.
No, I wasn't.
Getting that image.
Wait a minute.
Are you playing second-person video game?
What's a second-person video game?
John, are you?
Remember Star Fox
Doesn't Driver 3 have a second-person video game portion to it?
I have an opinion.
Are you currently asleep?
In the blizzard.
I pinched my arm. I'm fine.
Blizzards from GQ, they're delicious.
No, the blizzard's the company that makes the
it's
Warcraft.
like an actual thing.
What?
The
company?
snow.
Oh, the company that makes the game, not the DQ.
No, Blizzard the Blizzard.
Goodbye, everyone.
God save me.